Hello everyone. Welcome to this learning video. Let me introduce myself. My name is Yohana Desi Kurnia Sari, NPM 2341147, Class MNJ 23B. On this occasion, we will discuss one of the most important and relevant topics in the modern world of work, especially in the secretarial field, namely digital profile. As a secretary in the digital era, duties and responsibilities are not only limited to administrative work such as scheduling, managing documents, or receiving guests. Now, a secretary must also be able to build and maintain a professional identity in the digital realm. Why is this important? Because in today's era, almost everyone searches for information via the internet. Therefore, our digital profile is the first reflection seen by others, be it colleagues, clients, or business partners. So, what exactly is meant by a digital profile? In simple terms, a digital profile is a person's identity or self-image that is reflected through digital media. This can be a LinkedIn account, social media profile, personal website, or even the way we write emails and respond to professional messages. Digital profiles include information about who we are, what our skills are, work experience, and how we communicate professionally. In the secretarial context, a digital profile not only reflects the secretary's personal competence, but also becomes part of the face of the organization they represent. Therefore, it is very important for secretaries to build and manage digital profiles carefully, strategically, and professionally. Why is a digital profile so important in the secretarial world? First, because secretaries are often the main liaison between leaders and external parties. When business partners or clients want to know more about the organization, they will probably check the secretary's digital profile first, especially if the secretary communicates directly via email or social media. Second, a digital profile can increase credibility and trust. For example, a complete and professional LinkedIn profile can show that the secretary has good competence, relevant experience, and is connected to a wide professional network. Third, a digital profile can also be a self-promotion tool, allowing secretaries to obtain training opportunities, collaborations, or even job promotions. What should be included in a secretary's digital profile? There are several important components. The first is a professional profile photo. Use a formal photo, with good lighting and neat work clothes. Avoid using selfies or photos that are too casual. Second, a headline or short description. Write a summary of who you are and what your role is. For example, Executive Secretary with 5 years of experience in administration management and corporate communications. Third, work experience and education. Write clearly, structured, and honest. State your position, company name, and main responsibilities. Fourth, portfolio or achievements, such as documents you have compiled, activities you have coordinated, or applications you have mastered. And fifth, professional activities and networks, such as participation in webinars, secretarial communities, or posts related to the world of work. After understanding these components, now let's discuss how to build an effective and attractive digital profile. First, choose the right platform. LinkedIn is one of the most recommended because it is designed for professional needs. You can also have a personal website or blog to display a more complete portfolio. Second, pay attention to the language and writing style. Use polite, clear, and communicative language. Avoid using uncommon abbreviations or overly informal language styles. Third, update regularly. Add new experiences, training that has been attended, or new achievements. Fourth, maintain consistency between platforms. The information you display on LinkedIn should be consistent with that on other platforms such as email signatures or digital business cards. Fifth, get involved in the digital community, for example by joining professional groups, providing constructive comments, or sharing educational content. In addition to building, we also need to maintain ethics and security in digital profiles. Ethics in communicating digitally include being polite in writing, respecting differences of opinion, and not sharing information that is confidential or offensive to others. Remember, as a secretary, you carry the name of the organization. Never share internal company data on social media, including documents, management schedules, or sensitive issues. In terms of security, make sure your account uses a strong password and activates two-step verification if available. Avoid clicking on suspicious links or accessing accounts from public devices without logging out. Keep personal and professional information confidential so that it is not misused by irresponsible parties. A good digital profile is not only beneficial in the short term, but also has a long-term impact. For example, when you apply for a job, HR can immediately assess your professionalism from the digital profile they find. Or, when the leader wants to promote his staff, he can consider who is active, credible, and has broad insight in the digital world. In addition, having a good digital profile will make it easier for you to build a professional network, get international collaboration opportunities, and strengthen your position as a professional in the secretarial field. A strong digital profile reflects someone who is active, confident, and ready to grow in a competitive workplace. So the conclusion: in today's digital era, the role of a secretary has undergone a significant transformation. Not only focused on administrative tasks such as scheduling meetings, managing documents, or welcoming guests, a secretary is now also required to have qualified digital skills, one of which is in building and maintaining a professional digital profile. This is no longer just a compliment, but has become an important aspect that greatly determines the self-image of a secretary as well as the image of the organization he represents. A digital profile is a representation of a person's identity in cyberspace. Its forms can vary, from LinkedIn accounts, professional social media profiles, personal websites, to communication styles via email and other digital messages. In this digital profile, it is reflected who a person is, what their competencies are, what their work experience is, and how they communicate professionally. In the context of a secretary, a digital profile not only reflects personal competencies, but also becomes part of the official face of a company or institution. This means that the impression displayed by a secretary in the digital space can have a direct impact on outsiders' perceptions of the organization. The importance of having a strong and professional digital profile is based on at least several reasons. First, because the secretary is often the main liaison between the leader and external parties. In many cases, outsiders will search for information via the internet before interacting directly, and the secretary's digital profile can be the main source of such information. Second, a well-managed digital profile can increase credibility and trust from work partners. For example, a complete and professional LinkedIn account shows that the secretary is competent, experienced, and has a wide network. Third, a digital profile can be a very effective means of self-promotion, opening up new opportunities such as training, professional collaboration, or even job promotions. To build an effective and attractive digital profile, there are several important components that must be considered. Starting from the use of a professional profile photo, a short informative description, an honest and structured work and education history, a relevant portfolio and achievements, to involvement in professional activities such as communities or webinars. In addition, the platform used also needs to be chosen wisely. LinkedIn, for example, is a highly recommended platform for professional purposes. Consistency between platforms, the use of polite and communicative language, and regular information updates are also the keys to success in building a professional image in cyberspace. However, building a digital profile is not enough. Secretaries must also maintain ethics and security in their digital activities. Digital communication ethics include politeness in interactions, respecting the opinions of others, and not sharing confidential or sensitive information. Because they carry the name of the organization, secretaries must be extra careful not to carelessly share internal company data through social media or other digital platforms. In terms of security, it is important to use strong passwords, activate two-step verification, and avoid accessing personal accounts through public devices without logging out. Protection of personal and professional data must be a priority so that it is not misused by irresponsible parties. The impact of a good digital profile is not only felt in the short term, but also in the long term. When applying for a job, for example, the HR team can easily assess a person's professionalism just by looking at their digital profile. Or, when leaders want to choose employees to promote, they might consider who is active, credible, and knowledgeable in the digital world. In addition, a strong digital profile makes it easier for secretaries to build professional networks, open up opportunities for international collaboration, and strengthen their position as superior individuals who are ready to compete in the modern world of work. Thus, it can be concluded that a digital profile is not just an external appearance, but a long-term investment that reflects personality, professionalism, and readiness to develop in an era of technology that continues to move forward. A secretary who is able to build and maintain her digital profile well will have great added value in the eyes of the company and the professional world in general. Therefore, building a strategic, consistent, and ethical digital profile is an important step for every secretary to develop and succeed in her career in this digital era. Let's utilize digital technology not only as a work tool, but also as a medium to build a positive and professional reputation. Build your digital profile with intention, consistency, and strategy. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully today's material is useful, and see you in the next lesson.